Welcome back everyone to another episode of Vegetarian Cooking with JJ. My voice is back, thankfully, although I was so grateful that my husband was able to help me out in the previous week's episode and lend me his voice. In this week's episode, I'm going to be making my version of the Gordon Ramsay's viral eggplant steak. Now I'm going to be making two different versions to compare. One will be quite similar to his, and the other version I'm going to be using a different method. So be sure to stay tuned all the way through to the very end to find out if the alternative method is a success or a flop. And be sure to hit that thumbs up button before we head over to the kitchen if you have yet to do so. Subscribe to my channel. It is a free and easy way to support my channel. I'm really excited to get started and of course compare these two methods of the eggplant steak. So without further ado, let's head over to the kitchen and get cooking! Which one of these eggplants will be the success? The Gordon Ramsay version or mine? This recipe can also be prepared for Passover. Depending on how strict you are, there are a couple of ingredients that may be considered kitnyot. So look out for those and feel free to swap them up as you need to. If you're using the oven method, set your oven to broil 500 Fahrenheit. For Gordon Ramsay's version, score your eggplant with a knife and place it directly on the top rack. Have a parchment-lined baking sheet below to collect any juices. For my method, we're cutting off the top of the eggplant and peeling the entire eggplant. And popping the peeled eggplant in our Dutch oven. And coating it with olive oil for flavor and adding our steak rub. This particular one has dehydrated vegetables, which I think will add a nice flavor. It also has a little cayenne in the mix. Make sure it's thoroughly coated. Now we're pouring on our wine. I'm using about a half a cup's worth for now. And sprinkle on a little more steak rub. I've taken our broiled eggplant out of the oven and placed it in this dish. I'm covering it with a lid so that it will be easier to remove the skin. Let it cool off. And I'm boiling our water for our smashed potatoes. Rehydrate your dehydrated wild mushrooms. I have some hot water here I'm pouring on top. Submerge them in the water. And these are the veggie accompaniments. For our veggies, I'll be using Brussels sprouts, rainbow carrots, and rutabaga. Coat all the veggies with oil and season them to your liking. I'm using Himalayan salt and a seasoning blend that I love and found in Mexico. I also thought the pomegranate molasses would do wonders for this. Our broiled eggplant has cooled down enough so that we can peel it. Create a little slit with your knife and then peel away. I don't know. What do you think? Trim off the stem now and we'll pop it in our dry dish. I'm coating it with olive oil and our steak rub. Add your wine, again about a half a cup will do. And add a little bit more steak rub. Our potatoes were perfectly boiled. We smashed them with a mug, added our oil and spice blend. Our oven has cooled down and has reached a temperature of 425. We're roasting both eggplants for 30 minutes. Now I'm preparing the ingredients for our jus. I'm adding 1 tablespoon of molasses, 1 teaspoon of white miso paste, 1 teaspoon of vegan Worcestershire sauce. Add our red wine to the 1 cup mark. Add it to our saucepan. We're going to be using our wild mushroom liquid from earlier. I'm using 1/4 cup's worth and adding 1/4 cup's worth of veggie stock. Mix it into the wine mixture. Add a sprig of thyme and some rosemary. Feel free to adjust the amount depending on the size of your sprigs. And I'm just using 1 tablespoon of earth balance. Add in 1 teaspoon of garlic powder and 1 teaspoon of onion powder. The 30 minutes is up, so remove the eggplant, and it's time to flip them. Be gentle about it. For mine, I'm squishing it down with the pot. This will help create the visual effect we're going for. I'm flipping this one over and giving it another press. Our jus has reduced quite a bit, and I'm adding 1 tablespoon of liquid smoke. Now at the end, I'm adding our wild mushrooms to our jus. We're adding our jus mixture to both eggplants. Give the eggplants an extra sprinkle of the steak rub. We'll pop these back into the oven for an additional 30 minutes. You can see I'm roasting the veggies as well. Be sure to time it out. Now it's plating time, on a silver platter this time, because why not? Pour on some additional jus, and it's smelling divine. Add microgreens or garnish of your choice. Now it's time to serve. It's the moment of truth you've been waiting for. Here it is. This one is Gordon Ramsay's version, and this one is mine. Okay, so we'll try the Gordon Ramsay one first. Just cutting it here. Whee! Get all the components. Add a little bit of the jus. There we go. So this is his. It's very tasty. Oops, that was just the tongs. I think that's what the problem was when some people tried this recipe. They put it into a dish and it kind of ended up steaming the eggplant more so. If you're going to broil it in the oven, just put it directly on the rack. Be sure to have a baking sheet down below with some parchment paper on top just to make it easier to clean up. Other people's attempts, they ended up getting their eggplant rather mushy. Still has something to bite into. Now for mine, which looks like it will have more of a bite to it, and we'll find out how it turned out. Me and my tongs here. So yeah, it's definitely thicker. I squished it down as you saw earlier. Get a little bit of potato here. Perfect. So this one has something more to cut into. It's not super soft, but it's soft enough. It's cooked through. Nice flavor. It has more bite to it. The eggplant flavor did not get lost in this case. So they're both very different. The final verdict is I prefer Gordon Ramsay's version. It's not too soft and it's not too firm. I find it just right the way that I did it. If you watch Gordon Ramsay's video, you'll see that he chars the eggplant directly over an open flame. And that is why I decided to put the eggplant on the rack, which worked out well. It depends on your preference. If you prefer more of a dense texture and more of a bite, I would say go with mine. If you want it to be a little bit on the soft side, go with Gordon Ramsay's. And I'm gonna find out which one Shimmy prefers. If you like this comparison style video, remember to hit that thumbs up button, subscribe to my channel if you have yet to do so, hit that little bell notification icon so you don't miss a single video. There's gonna be a new video popping up every Monday at 8 a.m. Eastern, so you don't wanna miss it. This is JJ signing off, keeping things interesting in my kitchen and in yours. Bon appetit. And in this week's episode, I'm going to be making my version of Gordon Ramsay.